All right, just imagine this for a second. You've got the roar of over 14,000 screaming fans, the sound of sneakers tearing up and down the court, and this unbelievable tension of a top 10 showdown. We're at Hilton Coliseum, and let me tell you, tonight, this isn't just a game, it's about revenge. Yeah, that's a direct quote from the broadcast, and you could literally feel it through the screen. This wasn't just some background noise, you know? It was a living, breathing force. It was a sea of cardinal and gold, basically a sixth player out there on the court, just waiting to will their team to a win. Okay, so let's set the stage, right? In one corner, you've got the number 9 Kansas Jayhawks, a true blue blood of college basketball, a team that pretty much expects to win every time they step on the floor. And facing them, the number 5 Iowa State Cyclones, who are being fueled by this insane home crowd in an atmosphere they call Hilton Magic. So yeah, it's kind of like David versus Goliath. Except in this story, David is also a giant. But here's the thing, the rankings, they only tell you part of the story. For Iowa State, this game carried a whole different kind of weight. This was personal. This was all about payback. You see, to really get why this mattered so much, we gotta rewind a bit. Iowa State had started their season a perfect 15-0. I mean, they were on top of the world. And then, bam, they go to Kansas and their perfect season comes to a grinding halt. And it wasn't just a loss, you know, it was a beatdown. So now, back on their home court, they had a chance to return the favor. Now, you'd think with all that hype, the game would start with some fireworks, right? Well, nope. What we got was a collision with a brick wall. The first half was an absolute street fight, a total defensive slugfest where every single possession was just a grind. So Kansas gets on the board first with this sick alley-oop, but Iowa State, they didn't even blink. They come right back down, and Bryson just throws one down with authority. And that, right there, was the story of the whole first half. Just back and forth and back and forth. Neither team giving an inch. Man, the tension was just incredible. So we get to halftime, and what's the story? It's a total stalemate, a defensive grind. The whole place was just waiting. You know that feeling? The entire arena just holding its breath, wondering who was going to break first, who was going to land the first real punch. And then the second half starts, and let me tell you, Iowa State didn't just land a punch. They kicked the door down. They unleashed an absolute storm on offense, and Kansas had no idea what hit up. Okay, look at this. This chart, this is the whole story in a nutshell. In the first half, they couldn't hit the broadside of a barn from 3, a miserable 3 for 16. But in the second half, something just switched. They go an unbelievable 7 for 8. 7 for 8. That's not just good shooting, folks. That's just insane. That's how you blow a game wide open. And it all happened in a flash. I mean, right out of the locker room, it was just splash, then another one, splash, and another. 4 threes in a row. The floodgates just burst open, and Kansas was just completely washed away. Listen to this. Even the announcers couldn't believe what they were seeing. 7 of 8. With every single shot that went in, you could just hear that crowd get louder and louder, and you could literally see the life just drain out of the Kansas players. And once they were on fire from outside, everything else started to open up. So what did Iowa State do? They went in for the knockout punch. And check it out, it wasn't just about shooting threes. The defense was creating pure chaos. Right here, Tamin Lipsey. Look at those quick hands. He gets the steal, he's streaking down the court, he throws it up, and Robert Jones just hammers it home. Wow, the place went absolutely bonkers. That right there, that's your Hilton magic. And they just kept coming. Next time down, it's Keyshawn Gilbert's turn. He just puts his head down, blows by his defender, gets up, and throws it down with 2 hands. I mean, at this point, Kansas looked completely shell-shocked. And that was it. That was pretty much the ball game. The lead balloons up to double digits, and from there on out, Iowa State just never took their foot off the gas. It was over. So as those final seconds ticked off the clock, man, you could just feel it in the building. It was this huge collective sigh of relief and pure celebration. Mission accomplished. This wasn't just a win, you know? This was them getting that monkey off their back from that first loss. So the final score, Iowa State 74, Kansas 56, an 18-point win. Just a complete and total domination. Talk about a perfect reversal from what happened the first time they played. The bottom line, Revenge is sweet. And by defending their home court like that, the Cyclones basically sent a memo to the rest of college basketball. And that memo said, if you want to get through us, you're going to have to go through Hilton. Good luck with that. So when you look back at this game, a total grind that turned into an absolute explosion, all powered by that crowd, you have to wonder, in a sport filled with incredible athletes and genius coaches, maybe the biggest difference maker, the most powerful player on the court, isn't a player at all. Maybe it really is the magic of the building itself. What do you think?